However, though, if he's in grade school and we know that's going to be like one of them songs you hear just randomly pop up and play, and they know that's his mother, please don't think that these kids are going to be thinking about that, the way we're discussing it. They're just going to say, hey, your mom said her coochie pink and her booty hole was brown, and make a silly song about it, and then be like, so-and-so mama booty got a brown booty. Like, it's, kids do stupid stuff.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right sound. Right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell the nigga pipe down.
What's good, shout around? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. So you already know we in this mug. The last live got taken down, unfortunately. I was able to keep some of my clips. But the last live did get taken down. So that's pretty unfortunate. I'm not going to lie. But the show must go on. So we will continue this discussion, but we're going to switch it up a little bit, okay? Because I've been seeing a lot of clamor online. I've been seeing a lot of discourse surrounding the DDG and Halle Bailey conversation. And it seems that a lot of modern women, specifically sisters, okay, are upset because Halle Bailey is with DDG. But, I mean, they're a good match. They're a good fit. I really don't get why there is so much animosity towards DDG. Because, I mean, they look pretty similar, honestly. They slick look like, they could be kin. I think they make a good couple. But you do have women online who are upset. They're mad. They don't like DDG for some odd reason. They don't support the union. So, I mean, I kind of want to get you guys' outlook on it. What do you think? Brandon, did you just join the stream?
Yeah, I just joined the stream, bro.
So have you been seeing the backlash that DDG is getting for impregnating Halle Bailey? Have you been seeing that?
I would say not recently, but I've been watching DDG since he first came on YouTube. Like back in I would say 2015 when he first started doing YouTube. So I've been watching him for quite since I graduated from high school. So I've been watching him ever. But I kind of stopped watching him because after the whole controversy with him and a bunch of other people. So, with the situation on the topic of about, Halle Bailey, I think there's a problem with him getting her pregnant because obviously she is a black woman. That's obvious. But not to mention that she picked him. So there black women shouldn't really get mad for, DDG dating Halle Bailey. They shouldn't really get mad at that. I mean, that's his choice. If he impregnated her, that's his choice, period. So I don't know why people want to get mad at him for impregnating her when she picked him choice. And not the other way around.
Right, and it's her choice too, and but we continue to see this backlash, and I don't know why these women hate DDG so much, but I actually just saw a post from the Spiritual Word, and it was showing this frantic fan, surprised that she's seeing DDG. So it seems like it's not translating in reality, in person, as they say, when you actually touch grass and you go outside, it seems like it's not really translating in the real world. But online, there's just a lot of animosity and veracity toward DDG and Halle Bailey's union. I mean, if you just type Halle Bailey on Twitter, you're going to see a whole host of people flaming the fact that that she's pregnant. Okay, it's absolutely wild, and you know,
my question is this: why hate on DDG for impregnating Halle Bailey? Like that's my question to the people. Like, why hate on DDG for impregnating Halle Bailey? There's really no need to get mad. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it really seems like people they just don't want them to last, right? But it seems to me that she's really invested in him.
You said what now? You said that she's really invested into him?
Yeah, I was saying she's really invested in him. It seems like people don't want them to last. But from what I'm seeing, you know, she's really invested in him. And, you know, she likes him. But I just don't get why you have this backlash.
I mean, you're going to always get backlash from your own people. You're going to always get that. And this is not going to stop. It's not going to change. Especially being a black man, you get hated by your own people. It's never going to fucking change. We've been hated on by our own people since the beginning of time. So it's not going to fucking change, my nigga. Only thing us black men can do is make money guns and move the fuck on. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, bro. There's nothing we can do to change that.
What's your solution when you said move the fuck on? Where should we move on to? Like where is there to move on to?
I mean, like just dating interracially. That's really the best option for black men, especially because I know you say a lot of it in your videos too, as far as like IR dating.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you have a lot of people upset that Halle Bailey is happy with DDG and she's happy to have his child. I mean, I'm on Twitter right now, and you even have women wishing that Halle Bailey didn't go through with the pregnancy, if you know what I mean. Like, there's really tweets like that. And it just amazes me because I've never seen this much backlash over a pregnancy reveal. Like, I really haven't. You know, a lot of times you'll see women in the comments section congratulating, saying, oh, you know, it's great that you're pregnant and whatnot. And even if the baby daddy's not in the picture, like I made a post before and it said, you know, if a woman from your high school gets pregnant and she posts the pregnancy bump on Instagram, and then you go into the comment section and say, who the baby daddy, it's an automatic block. She's going to block you, you know?
I don't know if you noticed, but now there's a mandatory paternity test where you and this other person, you're at the birth and you take a paternity test. Now, women are going to be shocked that, oh, why are you taking a paternity test? Because we want to know who the father is. Because if I'm not the father of that child, then who's the father of that baby? That should be the question that most women got to answer. If I'm not the child of that father, why should I have to step in and take care of somebody else's child? And not only that, why should a man be a stepfather? Matter of fact, I just made a video about men should not be stepfathers because it's a huge risk. Why should I take care of a child that's not even mine biologically? That's not mine. If I want to have my own family, I go do that with somebody who doesn't have no kids. But why would you want me to come and step in and take care of somebody else's child? That's not even mine. So that's really a huge risk. And even if you marry this woman, now you're in a huge risk where you basically end up, you marry the woman, and then after 2-3 years later, now she divorces you. Now you got to pay her alimony and child support on top of that. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What man wants to deal with that?
I see a lot of women in the chat saying that, DDG essentially didn't marry her, so that's why they're mad. They're not mad that she's pregnant with his kid. They're mad that he didn't marry her when he got her pregnant. And then my question to them would be, did your baby daddies marry you? Like, we have 3/4 of our children being born out of wedlock, and you have these women who got the nerve to say, oh, well, he didn't marry her, but your baby daddy didn't marry you, so why are you upset that she's doing the same thing that you are doing?
That black men really can do is really just make your bread, do what you gotta do, and just travel, bro. Travel, because I don't think there's anything that can be done in the black community to change black women's minds. There's nothing that we can really do as black men, honestly, at this point. I think the black community is cursed forever. I thought, and I also think about this too, like, as black men being with black women, we were always, at one point in time, centuries ago, we were all kings and queens. But now that's broken off. So now, for the last several decades, all you get is backlash from your own people, but those are the same people that want to hate on your grind. It be your own people that shit on you. We're the only community on this planet Earth that shit on their own people. And that's what's fucked up.
Yeah, because I mean, that's why my caption is, why are black women angry that DDG is the best Halle Bailey can get? I mean, he's not no slouch, right? I mean, he's a successful guy, as far as entertainment, music. He's got his own thing. He's also put on family members of his. So he's a successful guy, but they're acting like he's just some guy she picked up off the street. So if we compare their union to Nicki Minaj's union, I would say that Halle Bailey, even though she's not married to him, has a stronger relationship than Nicki Minaj and her husband, even though they are married themselves.
Can I interject here?
I wanted to interject as well. I swear.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be quick. I promise I'm gonna be really quick. So yeah, Halle announced that they got married secretly already. So she is married.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that black women have an issue with her being, let's just say she was a baby mama, right? I don't think the issue is with her being a baby mama. I think it's more so she's climbing up a success ladder in her career, and she's doing so well, and she's so young, and it was just kind of unexpected that she got pregnant during this time. I'm gonna leave my commentary there though.
Okay.
Interject to what the other is saying. I think it's funny that black men all the time talk about, oh, it's an L to take up and be the stepfather, but y'all don't talk about how it's a lot of women that take the L and be the stepmother and get nothing out of it. They do all the stepmother things and mostly take care of that child more than the actual father does. Do way more things for him. And nobody says that. And just like he said, yes, we were black kings and queens once upon a time. But there's a video, if anybody wants to see it on my page, you can look at it. I added it and everything. This man said that who broke up the black family is the black man. Because this black man comes in and says he's going to do this, that, and the third. And then decides not to do that. And you can ask every mom, did he leave you and daddy not together? Not because of the white man, not because of the system, not because of money, not because of whatever. Because daddy lied, because daddy cheated, because daddy had got somebody else pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon, I think that's directed at you, bro. What do you say to her? And she, she's basically saying that, black men aren't doing right by black women. They're the ones who have broken up the family. So, and these women are stepping up to be stepmothers, even though I rarely hear of that. But what do you say to that, Brandon?
Well, I mean, if you look at this day and age with social media and everything else, I just think as a black community as a whole, we got to come together. But if we can't, then what is there left for us to do? I mean, let's just be honest.
On this app, truthfully, it's mostly the men bashing us rather than trying to come with a solution. It's them stating out a million different issues. Women are also stating issues, but they're also stating solutions or stuff that y'all can fix that would make us help fix other things. Or we don't have an issue fixing some of the things y'all have problems with, but we need y'all to fix some things too. So y'all just want us to fix ourselves and take accountability for our stuff, but y'all don't want to do the same thing.
But I will say this, though, to add to your point, though. Men and women need to be held accountable. It's not just a one-sided spectrum. It has to be both parties have to be held accountable for their actions. It's not just one person is wrong and this person is right. It shouldn't be that way. Both parties come together for an agreement.
Hold on. What if it is just one side that's wrong, though? What if it is just one side's fault?
It can't be in this time.
Dr. Omar has said something extremely powerful about black men being the leaders of the community and how single mothers and black women get a lot of, backlash for just simply, existing. We wrong if we get multiple degrees, or we're wrong if we're successful on our own. Like, we get shamed for a lot of different things. And the podcaster he was speaking to was like, oh, well, she shouldn't have chose a Pookie or a Ray Ray, or she should. And he interjected and said, hey, it wouldn't be a Pookie or a Ray Ray if black men were holding each other accountable. Our black women wouldn't be hyper independent and, speaking this way, acting this way, doing all of this. Like, she was a queen before you turned her into a bitch.
Preach
so
this.
I would say, and this is not to come in my black men on here, I love you guys dearly, but it's more so lack of community in the black community, and it's very individualistic, right? You don't have your fellow black men to black men, right? Let's take women out. You guys aren't holding each other accountable. Y'all not having them deep conversations like, damn, bro, you just got so-and-so pregnant. You should do this, this, and this. Or let me put you on this job. And instead of let's doing this, let's go back to school.
You don't think that's happening? You don't?
I don't want to say it's not happening. I just don't see a lot of it. It's not pushed to the forefront to me.
So, okay.
Change.
So what do you think? What is a black man holding another black man accountable look like to you? What does that mean? Like, how? So let's just say, let's say, for instance, I'm a 28-year-old black man. I'm doing fine for myself. I don't have any kids. I'm in a relationship. But I see another black man who, let's just say I don't know him. He done got 2-3 women pregnant. He's not on child support, not paying child support, and he's not trying to be involved in his child's life. What is my responsibility to that black man and his broken families? Like, what does it look like for me to hold him accountable?
You know what? If you don't know that individual, I feel like that may be a little bit difficult, because that's with anybody, right? You can't walk up to a person and just tell them like, hey, you did A, B, and C wrong, and this is how to fix it. But more so in the sense, let's just say you do have a rapport with that individual and it's that same situation. I would say, again, letting them know, educating them, letting them know, and also just having them stand on business and be a man. Like, you need to get a job to support these families, or you need to figure out a schedule so you involved in your children's life, or, work something out with co-parenting with the moms, something. Like, I just feel like I see a lot of men, y'all can play the game together, go to the club together, talk about women. You see it in the podcast, but you don't see a lot of conversation about what I can do to help my fellow brother out.
Well, what if I told him to do right by his women and pay child support and then help him out, and then he just like, no.
And that's on him. You can't control him. You're not his father. You can't control him. But again, let's just say you had that conversation with a couple of different people. Your message gonna stick to somebody. You get what I'm saying? Your message and what you saying, if you're telling him to stand on business as a man, that's going to resonate with somebody. And honestly, you know, I feel like once a black man starts, you know, they hit their 30s, 40s, it's really time to start being serious. A lot of black men are fucked up and far behind in life because they're too busy chasing women. They're too busy trying to impress people. They're too busy doing everything but getting themselves together and wonder why they unhappy and they unfulfilled. They don't know themselves. So it's like, to me, in my opinion, if you are a sound individual and you got your shit together and, you know, you're established in life, all you could do is spread that knowledge and hope it resonates.
Okay, and I agree with that to a certain extent. But my point is that you really can't stop another man from doing him. But what you do have control of, or somewhat control of, or what the women have control of, is not laying down with a man like that. So my issue is, hold on. Let me just get this off. Let me cook. My issue is you have these types of men who are, women know that they're not good dudes. They're not fatherly material. They know they're not husband material. That's where we get the whole term husband material from, is because women can tell when a guy's husband material or if he's just a one night stand material in their eyes. So we have these guys who may, you know, be irresponsible with their sexuality, and they have offspring all over the place, but the women continue to deal with those same men. So in that case, you know, any man can tell him, hey, you know, stop smashing, stop doing this, stop doing that, wear protection at least, or and take care of your responsibilities. But that's not going to resonate with that man because he's still being rewarded and enabled by the women that continue to sleep with him. So, I mean, what do you say to this guy? I mean, guys like Future, guys like NBA Youngboy, guys who have multiple children by multiple different women who, you know, it's not like these women are idiots, right? They're not idiots. A lot of them are business women, entrepreneurs, you know, about their bag and all this kind of stuff. But they still choose these types of men.
I think it goes back to what I stated originally. And this is me speaking on the women now. I'm not going to say anything else about the men. It goes back to, again, that individualistic mindset. So I'm gonna use your example. If I'm dealing with a man with multiple children and multiple baby mamas, and I see, you know, the situation and how he's not financially supportive, and if he can't support them, how is he supposed to support me? I think a lot of times women, black women in particular, we have slim pickings, you know, or we're attracted to or clout in the wrong things. We could be
that's what I think it is,
you know, a lot of different things. Again, yeah, something. No, it is. And that woman may not have a good sense of self. Maybe she saw her mom chase, you know, different men. You never know. Like you don't know. But from a woman's standpoint, I feel like if she doesn't know herself, if she doesn't have those morals and values, and I had to tell my friend this was a powerful message. You making another person or another woman miserable is not going to contribute to your happiness. So you throwing, you know, your relationship with that woman's baby daddy in her face and it's not going to make you happy, you know. And again, if we keep having the kids, giving up the sex, doing this and doing that, as you stated, it's a vicious cycle. So on both ends, again, we have to get out of these individualistic mindsets and think community.
Yeah. And you said something interesting to me. Hold on.
And I still didn't get my chance to say
something. Sorry.
Hold on. Let me just ask one more question. You said something and then you got the floor. I got you. You said something really interesting. You said it's slim pickings for black women, you know, as it pertains to finding a mate in black men. Do you think it's slim pickings for black men in finding a mate in black women?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it quick, but that's a whole nother topic. Absolutely not. I think black men are the most desired men on earth. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna stop so she can speak.
All right, Nikolai.
So, like I said, when I first joined on, most men think all the time that it's the woman's choice. That it's the woman's choice to say something or to have sex or whatever. But a lot of time, women make that choice because he said that we were going to be in a relationship.
That's real.
So you're saying that every man who, you know, is being a deadbeat dad promises the woman a relationship just to sleep with her and impregnate her?
She never said the word every. Just to clear that.
So what
percentage?
percentage?
You didn't let me finish.
Okay. Go ahead, you have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll promise that thing, and then the women will choose to do that because of that promise. And you're saying that most women, because you're right, I did say every, but most women that make the choice or whatever, they're doing it just because they already knew. But if, like we just explained earlier, if I don't know you from a can of paint, I wouldn't know that the first thing you told to me would be a lie. I would think that the first thing you told to me would be the truth. So I would think that I'm just now meeting you, we're going on a date, that you do want to be in a relationship with me. You do want to be my boyfriend. So I don't like that assumption, which is, like she said, an individual thought process, that men think that every woman went into this relationship sexually with this man thinking that, already knowing that he was a horrible man, and I'm going to have sex with him anyway. Some of these women go in here because that man lied to them. And men on this app talk about it all the time, that they know, if I tell this girl the truth, she's not going to sleep with me. So I have to lie to her to get to have sex with her. But then she gets pregnant now. Well, I didn't say we was going to be together, but that's exactly what you did to get inside of her. So I don't know what you want from that situation. I'm not saying with everything, because I agree with you when it comes to women that, like, celebrity wise, where I already know he has 4 kids, that's different. But if you're a man like you with no kids, nothing like that, and some girl comes sleep with you and you get her pregnant and then you say you don't want to be a part of it, did you tell her before that you wanted to be in a relationship, or did she just already know all the bad things about you and chose otherwise?
Well,
or did you lie and say that you were going to do some things, and then now that we done got the sex and we had what we wanted, we changed up the story, and now you're a whole different person, but you're blaming her even though you showed her somebody else than you're showing her right now?
Right. Well, what happens is oftentimes, you know, like you said, I might be in a situation where I got my stuff together. I'm a single man and I'm dealing with a woman and we sleep together, and then she pops up pregnant. A lot of times I may not have even promised her a relationship. I might have said, oh, you know, I'm not looking for nothing. It's casual. I just want to have fun. But she's on her Hail Mary, okay? Because women my age, they get baby rabies. It's a real thing. So now she is trying to shoot her Hail Mary and get a baby out of somebody with some stability. So as a regular man, even though I'm a regular man, I'm still doing fine for myself. And she might see that, and then she might say, well, he looks like he's got his stuff together. Let me have a baby by him because I kind of think he's a good guy. I've spent a couple weeks with him. I think he's a good guy. Let me have a baby with him because, you know, I'm assuming that, you know, he's just going to stand up and be ready to be a father, even if I already articulated that I'm just, you know, having fun. I see this situation as casual. So sometimes the woman might just want a kid, and she might find a guy who she finds sexually attractive and just have the kid with him just because, oh, he's cute and we'll have cute babies. Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, that's rare. Most of the times,
That's
it's the
just
men
like
who
how men
relationship
say that.
things.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
don't think that's rare.
Wait, can I
It's
say
rare.
something real
It
quick?
is rare though.
Hold
It
on,
is
hold
rare.
on.
But I'll
It's
point
very
that to, just
spot.
like men tell us that was the poor choice we made, that's the poor choice you made.
I agree.
But y'all want us to feel sorry for y'all when it's y'all. But y'all
No.
all the time, it's our fault when it's us. And that's where it's not fair.
Wait, no,
I
okay, hold on.
agree,
Can I say this real
though.
quick? I just want to drop, right? I just want to say this real quick and drop. Because
All
I was
right.
sitting here and listening to all these women, and I usually like agree with the women, but I'm gonna be so for real. I feel like you guys are self-projecting on their relationship. I'm gonna be completely honest, because at the end of the day, I feel like men are very simple people. Like, they will straight up tell you what they want from the beginning, and I feel like you guys are just oblivious and gullible, and then when a man hurts you, you cry.
Nation, you come up.
Victim.
Nation, hold
No,
on,
I mean, I'm
Nation.
gonna say this
She
though,
eating.
because
I
I
haven't
don't
even said
understand how,
anything.
like,
There's a couple of
grown
people on the
women.
panel that haven't said anything. You just
Wait,
come
Snack.
up
hold
there just
on.
to
Can I
insult
finish
And you
everybody.
just
Let me
came, yeah,
land,
you
and
just
then
But
you
came
can
you
make
in.
your
skipped
statement.
everybody. You skipped everybody, and you attacking us. There's two,
You're
three
attacking.
other people on here that haven't even said anything.
Hold on, let me say something. I did not specify
You know how
who
rude
I
that
was
is?
addressing, and you took
Uh-oh.
it real personal. So clearly, it was directed towards you. The shoe fit. But go
Y'all
ahead,
women.
sis.
You
It's
said
not
y'all
just about
women,
Can
and
I
there's
women.
like
say?
three
Can
people
I
on
say
here that haven't even
something?
said anything.
I'm
But you skipped everybody though.
I'm
No,
sorry,
I didn't.
ladies.
I
Can I
made
say
a general
something?
statement.
Go
I
ahead,
made
go
a
ahead.
general statement. I made a
Yeah,
general
my
statement.
you know what, Nation? I can see where at least I can see where you could potentially be coming from saying that. I'm speaking from a space of what I've seen the things I've seen other individuals go through, and then my personal experience. So again, I firmly believe, like I said, it's error on both ends. I'm not gonna sit here and blame another person if I decided to be dumb and have sex with a man with 2-3 baby mamas, and then I end up getting pregnant, walking into that situation.
But that
at
is
the
so
same time though, at the other young lady's point, what's her name, Nikayla, as she said, men do that. Men will manipulate you out your panties and then look at you crazy when you want a relationship, when you are pregnant, or however that situation may go, off the strength that they want to, do something with you. And it's the same thing. So I just kind of feel like it again, you have to move with your own morals, your own personal values, and use discernment, because all men aren't like that. All women aren't like that. But you have to have, you have the intellect enough to say, hey, what am I really realistically dealing with before you jump into bed with somebody?
Okay, but let me tell you this. I feel like if you have your own morals and values, how come you go against them? Because most women will talk about, oh, well, I don't want to have a baby until I'm married.
I don't have any kids. I don't know, babe. I don't have any kids.
I'm not speaking about you. I'm speaking in general. Because y'all talking about, I don't want no kids till marriage, but y'all are having unprotected sex. Like, hello, there's birth control, there's condoms. And not only that, but y'all over here, you guys don't even know a man. Like, take a minute before you sleep in the bed with him second date.
Yes.
And then y'all wonder why all these toxic traits start to come out of a man, and you're like, where the fuck was the other man at? You never got the chance. And then on top of that, you start complaining at the fact that you gave up your coochie to him, when that's very preventable. Like, get to learn the person before doing it. That's why I'm saying it seems very projectile. Like, and I'm not saying
a lot of women, but you know what? A lot of women have to grow into that. You 100% correct. I agree. But a lot of women have to develop and evolve into that. If you come from a space of trauma, brokenness, lack of accountability, you don't have the tools necessary to navigate that way and learn how to properly date, or if you've never seen a man love your mother or vice versa, you get that. You get what I'm saying? I think a lot of women have to navigate and get to everything that you just said, where they're using that discernment when they decide to deal with a man, any man, because women, we love fast and we love hard. Men don't fall in love based off what we do for them. They fall in love based off the promises they keep to you. They get the joy off doing the work and being in that pursuit. So if you throwing coochie out, that's not going to happen. So I agree with you.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm just like her. I don't personally feel attacked by what you said. I just don't fully all the way believe with that all the time everybody's saying with women intuition, we should have already known. Both the parties accountable, like we keep saying. I'm sorry. I said I don't like that we both don't try to hold both parties accountable, because it's not just the woman that laid down or opened her legs. That man also was a part of that. And I don't appreciate that people all the time try to hold it just accountable for the woman or just make it be her fault. I'm not saying that I don't love black men. I'm not saying that, because I do have children, I'm not saying that I just met my children's father and instantly hopped in the bed with them and didn't know nothing about them. That's not the case at all.
So,
and I'm not saying there's bad women out there. There's just as many bad women as there is bad men. There are just as many good women as there are good men. Like Symphony said, it's just about where you are in life and who you met in the whole situation. I, on my page, on my platform all the time, am always playing devil's advocate, because what this young man just said with the women open their legs, I don't like when they say that, because you're saying that only one party made the decision to have sex. That's it. You're not saying that both parties, as adults who went through high school and went through sex ed, understand that by doing this act, potentially, you're going to have a child. Because when you have sex and don't make a baby, you're actually doing it incorrectly. That is the purpose of it. It's to make a life. We found a way to have pleasure in it, but that's not what the purpose of it was for, though.
So are you going to go back to your baby father now that, you kind of seen the light?
Seen what light? I'm not. Who said I wasn't with my child's father? I have two different children by two different men. Yes, they're way gap in age. But my first child's father, we were together 2 years before we had our son. we decided that we wanted different things. I didn't want to be with somebody who wanted to be in the National Guard because I didn't want the potential of losing my man. So that's the goal and the life choice he wanted to make later in life of us being together after 2 years. I wasn't okay with that, so I chose no longer to be with him. But my daughter's father, me and him are still actively together. We're still doing what we're doing. He already knew that. I said that when we on our first date, and 2 years later, he decided to do that. I said that I didn't want to date somebody because I don't want that situation. Really, that's all. I don't want to be put in that predicament of those people showing up outside my house with a flag saying that he's gone.
Well, the National Guard, they don't really die like that, but they're not put in harm's way most of the time.
But he wanted to go active to be able to go over. I know what you mean, and understand. But he wanted to try to see if he could go even more active than the National Guard normally does.
I mean, it sounds like he was a brave
police officer.
It sounds like he was a brave man who had purpose, drive, ambition. I mean, I don't know. You might want to hit him back up. But what happened about the second baby father?
I said that I'm still with my second child's father.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I feel you.
We've been together for 3 years. Our daughter is only 1 year old. We've known each other literally 3 years. This will about to be 4 years coming December.
And
congratulations.
Your old baby daddy's fine with that? Your old baby daddy's cool with the new baby daddy?
That I wouldn't go into that, but that's a whole nother story about a whole nother situation. But he moved on as well, and he also has another child. I don't have a problem with his other baby mother.
Okay.
But like I said, it was just me personally from my lifestyle. I didn't want to date somebody. I'm sorry. Not that I'm saying being a cop, being a firefighter, or being in the Army or National Guard is a horrible job. I just know me. I don't want to be put in the position where they come to my doorstep and let me know that he's gone. Because that's a lot to deal with. I've seen family members go through that, and I knew as a child I didn't want to ever go through that. So
I'm not gonna lie, I had a
not
phone
to date
call.
people like in that job field just for that reason.
I had a phone call and missed the topic.
Thank your baby daddy for his service for me.
What are we on right now? What's the topic?
Okay, let's get back to the topic, if I may say something, unless someone else was in front of me.
Go ahead.
I feel like now, like having kids out of wedlock is like the new norm. Everybody's doing it. Celebrities are doing it, and we all know a lot of younger kids, they look up to celebrities. We have Keke Palmer that had a baby, and then now Halle, she's pregnant, and all these beautiful, couples are not waiting for the ring. They're going straight to have the baby first. They have the baby and then the ring later. And we all know usually once you have the baby, it's much harder for you to, to get married. A lot of them, they end up not getting married. They get separated. Now we're creating broken homes. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I just think that he is a distraction to her career because she's doing really good as far as like her career is like boosting up. And then now he's a distraction. Now she's pregnant and all these things going on. So people are not celebrating marriage anymore. It's like, let's just have the kid. We'll figure out marriage later on. And then when they find out, okay, well, that's not the woman for me, that's not the man for me, now they separated, And as far as like bashing, I think it's on both sides. I've heard both men and women do the bashing in the app. If you see more women bashing, maybe you like towards a lot of these followers, the people that you follow, a lot of those women bashing. If you see the same thing for the man, like for me, I feel like I can't hold somebody else accountable for things that they do. They have to hold themselves accountable. I can talk to you about it. I can let you see how I view it, but I can't hold you accountable for something that you did. That's your life. We can't force people to do things, but we can keep educating people, and especially sex education. I feel like they're not talking enough about with younger kids about sex education, how to protect themselves from not getting pregnant. But these celebrities, they have all the money in the world. They have all the resources. They're still having kids out of wedlock, and once they get pregnant, and it's kind of like shame because they don't want people to find out about it. But I don't know. I wish them the best. They're a beautiful couple, but if I were her, I would have definitely waited, get the ring, and then and then have the baby.
Okay, and I mean there are rumors that they did get married during a London getaway. It's not confirmed, but they're trying to say that there was a quiet ceremony. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that. But just to put it out there, there's potential that they could have gotten married secretly, but I mean, I haven't seen any documentation, so I can't verify
But if
that.
she got married, why is she hiding it? Why is she hiding? I mean, I know also too they were having problems too. I think where like they are broken up or something. I saw some text messages like he was texting back and forth with his ex, whatever. But if you got married, it's something you're supposed to celebrate and be happy about and proud. Why hide it? You can't hide a baby. You can't hide a pregnancy.
I
So
mean,
is
yeah,
that
you
more
can.
something to hide? And
I think she was
marriage should be
nominated.
beautiful.
She was not.
Oh, I don't understand people's logic sometimes. Like, yo, if I feel like if somebody wants to not tell who they're talking to, who they're dating, who they're pregnant by, who they're married to, like,
I agree
why?
with you.
I don't get
Why
it,
I
bro.
don't get why
If she
y'all
wants to
feel
hide
I
her
don't
pregnancy,
either.
let her do it.
Right. It's like
It
next
makes me
level.
irritating. Like,
She
I'm
also was
saying
nominated.
you
She was
it's
nominated
just
for a
it's
Grammy.
very no, it's
Yeah,
very
she was
Not a
there.
hypocritical.
Grammy, Oscar.
I just
The
feel
Oscar,
like
my
it's
bad.
very
Oscar, yeah.
hypocritical
Yeah,
and
you okay.
contradicting that you guys like mention your own morals and values and you guys go against it as well, and then you guys feel some type of way about celebrities doing what
Who
they
is you
do.
guys? Who are you guys?
I'm
Who
making
are
a
you
general
guys?
statement. You guys are
We never said
taking a
anything
That
about
is
that.
why
bro.
I kept talking that way.
Stop. Wait.
Right, Nation.
Where
Weren't
are
you
you
supposed to drop like 30
Right, your
minutes
nation.
ago?
It
I
feels
don't
more
know
like
what is
everything
your.
y'all
Are you
say
here
feel
for the
a
conversation? Or are you just here to just
self-destruct
blame the
against
women?
us than
Look, hold
anything.
on. Let me make this clear before everybody starts getting mad. I'm making a general statement, okay? General statement. I'm not
Then
saying
don't say you
Star.
guys. Say most
This
people. Like
is
your
like
Well,
the third
question.
or
Nation.
I
fourth
said
time you
everybody.
said that.
Say
No, let
most.
You
me
Say
tell
sounded
you,
like a
more. Some
policeman to
people, because
me.
you're saying you guys.
bro.
Nation,
Anyway,
you came in here and you haven't so far made any factual statements. Number one, for example, earlier when you said that, you
Oh
came in here and
Lord.
you said that men are simple and they'll tell you what they and. That's not the experience that 99.9% of women have. Men, although we would like for them to be direct and straightforward, they are not. This is why when
they
you
are.
find this, excuse the fuck out of me, I'm still talking. This is why when you find another bitch's phone number in your man's phone and you're in his face asking him about it, he's not upfront and clear about it. Bitch, he's quiet as fuck. He's not going to give you the answer because he's not straightforward. So first of all, you came in here and you did not spit a fact. This is a fact. We would like for men to be straightforward and say, hey, I don't want you. I just want that pussy girl. That's all I want. And a few of them are like that. They're called niggas. You know what I mean? This is okay, a few of them are like that, but in general, they're not straightforward. This is why you gotta beg for, they're like children. It's like if you have children, like, did you eat the cookie? And they want to lie about it. Like, this is what grown men do. Okay, so first of all, motherfucking fact check. Number two, in regards to the actual topic, I've been sitting here looking at this guy, and I personally, I'm going to project, Nation. I personally feel as though just looking at this guy, why are black women angry? That I don't think any black woman in here just looking at him is attracted to him. Okay, ask any woman on the panel. So, wow.
I don't know.
Because nobody interrupted you when you were talking, and you skipped everybody. So mute your mic, Nation.
Let me answer my
the entire time I spoke, y'all
because
were
I've been in here for like half an hour. I haven't said shit thus far. But so anyway, looking at this guy, myself personally, the reason why I would be angry that DDG is that she's with him is just because he's an ugly nigga. Like, I will treat it's like for me, I would treat it like my homegirl. Like, girl, this nigga ugly as fuck. That's the best you can do. Look at this ugly ass nigga. Ugh, he look weird.
What makes him ugly though?
So just for me personally, I feel as though black women look at him and we feel like, what is this? Oh, what are those? What is that? This nigga ugly? Like, does he have any? That's my personal opinion.
I don't agree. I think a lot of women online find him attractive. If you go to the
I like men that look like men. He looks like a boy. I like men that look like real men. If a woman thinks he's attractive, she likes younger men.
He's a young man though.
The only okay. How old is he? I'd
say he's like 24.
26, 20 something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Much too young. Yeah, like I said, he's like a child. So a grown ass woman would look at him like, oh, he's like a child. He's he looks like a little boy. So period. The fuck.
So, but no,
I literally agree with almost everything she just said, because nobody's trying to attack you, Nation, but you came on here on the attack. You didn't say anything To the point, and you said that everybody like is doing the most coming from personal experience, and it more feels like you're coming from personal experience of dealing with women who always blame men. So then you came on here, as soon as women started saying something about men, you're on their defense instantly just because of your personal experience. Like Lily said, a lot of women have had the not so honest experience with men, and it's unfortunate that people like you and men all the time dismiss their experience because you feel that men are honest and men are whatever. I'm not saying it's not men out here that you're talking about. There are, but that's not our personal experience. We've had the experience with the men who are liars, who are extra, who are all the other things. And you're making it seem like the women who've had that experience, you're lying, you're making it up, it's all your fault, you're the wrong person, and that's horrible for you to say that.
One-sided, because this is a conversation, because I even said, there's wrong on both sides, but when you come in here on a personal
You're coming
attack,
here
you
one-sided. Everybody
attacking
in here is on both
everybody on
sides,
the
and he said
panel.
both sides. You're coming one-sided.
Exactly. And you cut everybody off. You say you're coming in for 2 minutes. You just want to be heard. And then
And
you
you
went
still haven't
straight
talked
into
about the
attacking
point.
people. And
Wait, can I
then
say
you're dismissing what everyone else is saying, but only your point is valid.
Yes, and you haven't even talked about the point.
Can I say something? Are y'all done?
The whole time. Go ahead.
Are y'all done? Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, for you guys to say that I was attacking, I feel like an attack has to be a personal attack. For example, I could have been like, I don't agree with what Symphony said and da-da-da-da-da. I made a general statement. All y'all got mad. And the reason why y'all got mad is because all you guys agreed with each other on a statement, and I was the only one who said something different. So y'all assumed that it was an attack just because I was the opposing side. Now,
Nobody
as
said they
I
was
was
personally
saying,
attacked.
Nation, I partially agree with you though, love.
And she definitely did agree
I
with you.
partially agree with you.
Can I say something though? Y'all, the entire time I try to talk and finish my statement, you guys are like, oh.
Are you gonna make a point to the topic?
Let me look, and this is very contradicting of everybody. This is very contradicting of everybody because you guys were just yelling at me for cutting y'all off when first of all I didn't. You guys cut me off multiple times and never letting me land. Anyways, I was
taking a long time to land.
Okay, you know what? What's the topic? Tell me the topic right now, and I'll state it. How about that?
The topic's on the screen.
Yeah. So why are black women angry that DDG is the best Halle, whatever her name is, can get?
Yes.
Halle. Oh Lord.
Yes. Oh, I think she got the struggle wireless going on there. But yeah.
I just want to point out and say that I was not mad at all. I gave my points respectfully.
Nobody said that they wasn't mad. Literally, everybody said they partially agreed with her, but she still feels attacked.
Can I say something?
I know she only pointed out one side of the argument.
Hold on, ladies. Wait, so my question is, let's move on. My question is, the last lady, Lily, she said DDG was ugly, and that's why black women are angry that he's with Halle Bailey. Do y'all think he's ugly? Like,
no,
DDG.
Hold on. One at a time. What would you rate DDG? Do you think he's ugly? All right, go.
Hi everyone. I don't think it's ugly.
What would you rate him? Scale of 1 to 10.
I would say 7.
All right.
I'm gonna give him an 8.
Okay, Symphony says 8. Nation.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a phone call. You said, what do I rate him?
Yeah.
He's personally probably a 6, only because he's not my preference.
Okay. Star.
Well, he's not ugly. I will rate him probably like a 7.5, close to an 8, but he's probably a 7.5.
Okay.
But not my type.
Nikayla.
I would rate him a 7 because I followed him on YouTube since he was with somebody else, so I know him a little more from depth. So I would give him a 7 just off that too.
Okay. And Amira, I think you haven't said anything, but if you want to chime in.
Yeah, I think he's about an 8, just from my perception. And to kind of tackle the topic, I feel like black women are angry because they understand the experience of being in love with a narcissistic man. Because when you typically have a child by them, that traps you. So because he, exhibits those weirdo traits, black women, we like, damn, Halle, you fucked off. But, it is what it is.
What are the weirdo traits that he's exhibited?
Like
Not-
he comes from YouTube. He's not a really good boyfriend. He wasn't a good one to Ruby Rose. He wasn't a good one to Kennedy Simone.
Then he made that song.
Hold on.
And then he made that song.
Wait, I have a question.
A bunch of different tweets while she was at her Little Mermaid premiere.
That way
was
too
very
petty.
disrespectful.
Way too
I have
petty.
a quick question. Why is the word narcissistic being thrown around every single time somebody don't like
I
them?
was just about to say that.
Because you can just call people narcissistic. Like, it's an actual disease. Like, you gotta you can just say because he wasn't a good boyfriend.
Yeah, it's a diagnosis.
So hold on, because I would like
I could say maybe he has narcissistic
I feel
traits.
like throwing the word around, I feel like you misinterpreting what I meant by that. Narcissistic refers to a character trait, not him and his entire personhood. A narcissistic means that he's on the spectrum. Narcissistic refers to
Whoop, well, she cleared us.
Come on, because you talking about narcissist. A narcissist is a person with a disorder. A person that's narcissistic is exhibiting the traits that a narcissist would typically have. So the point was
psychology minor. Just saying.
Masters in clinical mental health here, licensed LCPC, but I'm gonna close my mouth. Anyway, back to the topic.
Right. So, I mean, we've all kind of gotten a consensus that DDG is not ugly to black women. Now, there might be some black women who think he's ugly, just like Lily, but from this, the sample size of this panel, he's not ugly. So, what is the animosity coming from, at least online, about DDG? Because I don't think it's really translating to real life, because women are still fangirling out over seeing him in person.
If I may add, I think when it comes to relationship with dating nowadays, a lot of people are falling in love with how someone look on the outside, what their hair look like, what their skin tone, how tall they are, and all of this, but they're missing all the good component, all the elements of their character, their values. Is everything aligning? Like they're missing all the good part. They're just falling in love with just looks. So if you're asking me how does it look from the outside, yes, he's a good looking guy at 7.5, but personality wise, I wouldn't know, because I'm not dating him. I don't know him personally. Halle will be the only person that'll be able to say what kind of a person that he is. Maybe they have some good stuff in common. She sees something good in him that, she feels like, hey, he's a great match or whatever. But like I'm going to say it again, he is a distraction to her career. Now she is pregnant. She's going to have to make some adjustment as far as like jobs and different things that she's going to do. Not that she can't do it. She can do it. But it's going to be much harder because she have to play the role of being a mom and also being a actress. She's a young actress. She's a beautiful girl, and he's also a handsome guy. He has his whole life ahead of him. So having a baby is not easy, guys. Like let's be for real here.
What if she just wants to be a stay-at-home mom?
Then she's straight then. But
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, do we have the same?
Hold on.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to say, I feel like it's also a thing of, DDG, earlier in his career, when he was a YouTuber, when he was making his money off that, he came out very humble, very, appreciative of his fans and, his success. But it's the more success and accolades he gained, as a rapper and all the other stuff he's doing now, it kind of seems like he's more cocky and less down to earth. And that's what I was referring to when I was saying narcissism. Because think about all the women he done went through in his relationships who done publicly bashed him on the internet and stuff. I feel like no one's going to just do that for no reason. That's why I said
It's literally a troll, though.
I don't know. I think women, You know, I think that's the first resort. Women go to social media to bash their boyfriends and baby daddies and all the time. You've been seeing that since the early Facebook days. So I mean, I think that he is obviously what she wants. I think that he's the best that she can get at this moment. I think that he's a successful guy. She's a successful lady, and if she wants to have his kid and just be the mother of his child, then I don't see what the problem is. I think the biggest issue that women have is a lot of them are living vicariously through these celebrities, and since that's not something that they would have done, then they kind of, give their 2 cents on the relationship as a whole, even though, their relationship life may not be as rosy as they're trying to purport DDG and Chloe.
So I got a question, y'all. I got a quick question. So let's switch gears a little bit and get out, and if I can, get off Halle and DDG. Mm-hmm. Do you think Black women have had that same energy for Sexy Red? So, she just announced her pregnancy too. So I'm just curious to hear everybody's opinions about her particular situation versus this one. Like, do we have that same outrage, or, it was kind of expected?
Truthfully, personally, I haven't had no outrage toward any of them. I'm supportive of every girl with their body, their choice. Krishan, Sexy Red, all of them. This is her body, it's her choice. Kiki, all of them. And it's their choice to stay with that man, to leave that man, or whatever. I'm the person, like I said, was trying to say, get nation to understand. We were partially in agreement with her, where I don't understand why people, like you said, vicariously live through these celebrities and feel like, oh, I'm mad at him because of this. You're only seeing in a portion of what they're showing us, a portion of their life daily, or through the award shows and stuff. We're not seeing every single thing, every aspect. So on the internet, he might seem like a bad person. On the internet, she may seem, very hood, radish or whatever, but she could be totally different when the cameras are off and everybody's gone. She could not be like that. He could not be like that. So for me, I don't care. I look at and love whatever they put out, and that's it.
I think, and you know what, the reason I'll go ahead.
I wouldn't compare. I'll be really quick. I wouldn't compare Sexy Red with Halle, because she's Sexy Red. She's a upcoming singer, right? She doesn't really have that big fan base, a celebrity, as Halle. Halle, she's been a celebrity ever since she was a little girl, so everybody know her. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. I wouldn't put them in the same category. It's like different. It's just apple and oranges. People have different feeling how they see. She's a little mermaid girl. This little girl. She's been singing. She's been acting ever since she was little. Sexy Red. She just popped up this year or something, or last year. So she can do whatever she wants.
She's been underground for a few years. But you know what? The reason I asked and the reason I brought it up, naturally we can't control anyone. They're gonna live their lives. We're happy for them either way. But I just noticed, when you scroll and you look at different TikTokers give their opinions about different topics and subjects like this, it's just interesting to hear the reasoning behind, why people would have a certain opinion about DDG and Halle's situation versus Sexy Red. And it was like, she went from Pound Town to ultrasound and making the whatever. I think it's messed up that we are scrutinizing and just coming at Black women like this in general, as if other races of pop stars and celebrities and people do not do the same thing. If this would have been a white pop artist or someone else and they were pregnant and it was out of wedlock, whatever, nobody would bat an eye and it would be the cutest thing on earth. And, I just think it's interesting how our particular celebrities as the community get picked apart by the media so hard, and everybody, not even just us, like the world, but they don't do that to, white celebrities.
I feel like it's because it's Halle, to be honest. I feel like people have different expectations from her and different standards, because she's like so clean and like Disney actress, and she was like popping off, and they were expecting something different from her. And I think that's why they didn't even care about what Sexy Red was doing, to be honest. I don't really think it's a black or white thing. I think they just had different expectations from her that, and I don't think it's right that people like are mad at her, but I think they were just expecting something different, like from her, not being like,
I feel like it's disingenuous to to attribute a certain experience with a person just because of what you perceive them to like live by, your standards or what you think they should live by. I think it's not right, because the reason why people was like, dang, Sexy Red, like in her prime, like everybody kept saying that, like, okay, Cardi B did it. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she still has a very strong fan base as well. Sexy Red ain't just come out. She ain't just pop up. She just popped off. She been there. I'm gonna say around 2018 is when I started seeing Sexy Red really like pop her shit for real and started getting like a platform on social media. But Sexy Red been had fans. So when I say like it's not fair, I feel like if Cardi B can do it, what makes Sexy Red any different?
So let me ask you this: do y'all think Sexy Red is going to be a good mother?
Yeah, I think she already is, because she already had a child.
Oh, she did.
She already got a kid.
Oh,
so she doing
people
it
probably just think that she's not gonna be a good mom because of like the way she puts herself out
Her
there in the
aesthetic.
world. So like when you put yourself out there like in a weird way, people are gonna think, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna think, oh, this girl's like ghetto and ratchet. She can't raise a kid because the kid's probably gonna be just like that. But we don't know her behind closed doors, so.
yeah. I mean, I haven't really.
Maybe that's why people don't care as much. They already know she have a kid already, so this is her number 2. So maybe that's why the focus is not so much on her, because they know she's done it before.
Do y'all know if she has a son or a daughter?
A son.
It's a son, from what I'm reading.
So like, what do you think? What do you think her son? What do you think his perception of women is going to be, since that's his mom? Like, do you think he's going to have a natural respect for women, or do you think it's going to be hard for him to have respect for women when his mom is out here doing the most?
How the mother raised her.
It depends on how she raised him.
Thank you. It depends on the mother itself. Like, if the mother is not raising the child correctly, the child will then be toxic himself. He will then see women out of.
Well, you know, children, they don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do, and they emulate those behaviors.
But if you're not setting a good example, what are you doing? If you're not setting a good example, what are you doing?
Oh, I just saw Nation in the comments. She should come back to the chat.
For what her son should be looking for in a woman.
I think, why are we?
I feel like I'm not gonna speak to that because when he comes of age for real, like, you know, coming into age, into his manhood, I feel like who she is at that given point will kind of have more of an impact. Because while he's still young, like, it's kind of still like up in the air in a way. So when he gets older and comes into his cognition more, it's gonna be more of a direct influence. Not saying it's not an influence now, it's just going to be stronger the older he gets.
I agree, and I think it's going to get worse because, I mean, didn't she just have an intercourse tape leaked? I mean, he's going to have to, especially if he's going to a public school, you know.
But I feel like nobody asked it about Kim Kardashian.
I was just about to bring her up. Oh my God, I was just about to bring her up.
What'd you say?
I feel like nobody asked
Kim Kardashian.
North and Kim kids.
No, they did. Remember?
They did though.
She was crying because an ad came up in the App Store about her new intercourse tape releasing, and her son saw it and asked her about it. And she was crying, and he's not of age to really understand what that means now. But in the future, he'll see a lot more of that, and I think it will affect his mental health. The daughters as well. So. You know, my question is, do you think that Sexy Red's antics now, you know, the booty hole brown stuff, do you think that's going to affect her child in the future? And maybe, I mean, he's going to have to overcompensate a lot in school to defend themselves from the jokes that he's going to be on the receiving end of based off of the actions of his mother.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if she's a good mom and she's like educating like right. What she's doing is gonna fall off. You guys say Kim Kardashian, but it's like people are still talking about it. It doesn't matter how rich she is.
But her kids aren't old enough to really see how they're affected. Like, they might come out and then, you know, next thing you know, they're 16, 17 and you know, they're doing drugs and all types of stuff. You don't know yet because they're not of age.
Okay, let me say something. Just because you are a bad mother or you are a bad father, you have a kid, it's all depend who's around that child. We have kids that had been raised in home, probably not around their mom or their dad, by somebody else. They are doctors and lawyers. They're doing good for themselves. They are their own person.
The minority,
Just
though.
yeah, but it not necessarily, because somebody else could be raising that child and that child turned out to be great. You know, what your mom did or what your dad did shouldn't follow that child, because the child they shouldn't hold that child accountable for what the mom or the dad did. He's his
But you
own
can trauma
person.
great, but it doesn't mean that you're not gonna go through trauma or you're not gonna go through things.
Yeah,
You
but
can trauma great, but you can still have trauma behind it.
Yeah, it's unnecessary trauma though. Like, for instance, you know, my parents, there were nothing like this that could have happened in my childhood where somebody could say, "Hey, your parents," because they all had respectable jobs, you know, and they did something that was honorable. Whereas, you know,
So being a rapper isn't
so
honorable?
anything that happened to me was gonna happen to me in my childhood, and it had nothing to do with the actions of my parents. It was just gonna happen just because what happens to a child happens to a child, and Murphy's Law, anything that can happen will happen. You know, but as far as my parents go, there was no ammunition there for classmates or whatnot to, taunt me over. But with these women and their children, there's plenty of ammunition, and these kids are going to be the butt of every single joke.
Can I interject? I just
ahead.
want to say something. So children, when you're growing up, a lot of people suffer and have adult like trauma stemming from childhood. So when you're a kid, you experience things and you may not understand it, but subconsciously your mind is absorbing what's happening, the energy, all of that, and that's going to play out later on in life in adulthood. So if Sexy Red makes her music, I hear a Sexy Red song at the club when and if I go, I'm a homebody, but if I'm out, I'm gonna turn up. I think she makes party music, and parents should be raising their children, not celebrities and whatever. However, though, if he's in grade school and we know that's going to be like one of them songs you hear just randomly pop up and play, and they know that's his mother, please don't think that these kids are going to be thinking about that, the way we're discussing it. They're just going to say, hey, your mom said her coochie pink and her booty hole was brown, and make a silly song about it, and then be like, so-and-so mama booty got a brown booty. Like, it's, kids do stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, but
going to his point, that's ammunition. That's going to be ammunition to talk.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I mean, as a kid, your formative years are some of the most important. And if you become the butt of every joke, there's only two reactions. You can either cower away and be a coward for the rest of your life, or you can react and create. But it can also cause disciplinary issues where you have to fight every battle that you're faced with defending your mom's actions. And this has happened. I mean, we had Bash, Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's son, who came out and he said, oh, well, somebody was teasing me. He's in the 3rd grade and they're already on his ass about his mom having an OF, and he's being teased about that. And his mom is trying to, oh, well, anybody who makes fun of a woman for doing what she has to do, then they have bad parents. And that's just not the case. The actual bad parent is her, because she's the one who put her child in a position to be ridiculed for her own actions, but she can't see that. So my question is, what do you think that does to the child's mental health when you have these women who are acting a fool, and booty hole brown, all that type of stuff? What do you think that does to a child's mental health, especially because she got intercourse tapes leaked now? I mean, what happens when he's in the 4th grade and 10 kids come up to him with his mom's intercourse tape on the phone, showing him and laughing at him? She's spread wide open playing with herself. What happens then?
Honestly, that child's mentality, the way of their way of thinking, everything will decline majorly. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because the way that the child sees the parent, right? The parent isn't doing anything out of like a positive light. So the child will see the parent itself out of a negative light. That parent is not being positive. It's not being a positive figure. So what does the parent need to do? be a positive figure in that child's life so that freaking child can live a positive freaking lifestyle. It doesn't matter if he's a child or not. He can be a teenager as well. You must lead out of positivity, or else your child will actually lead its life out of negativity based off of what the parent's child was doing. That's all.
Okay.
And I also feel like, and just to piggyback on that, I also feel it's so important to educate and raise your kids. Ain't no telling what song is going to be popular or what's going to be popular by the time that child is old enough to understand that music could go in 20 different directions and they could be talking about crazy stuff. I think it's up to the parent always to educate and talk to your children and just pay attention to your kids. And for instance, let's just say he was getting bullied, or if there was something wrong, whatever. Doesn't even have to be bullying. It's so important. And I'm not a parent, but I was a child though once. You get what I'm saying? I was a kid though before. It's so important to have that rapport with your mother and father or whomever's raising you, because they're gonna notice that something's wrong and they're able to interject, get you the help you need, get the resources, etc. Because what you don't want to happen is for him to grow up and hate women because a song his mom made 10 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So
and
it's important to,
I think that's a possibility that he has a visceral reaction because his mom, essentially is involved in, some not so nice things. And here's my thing. Nowadays, the bullying is way worse back then because nowadays you got to go to school and you got to face it, and then you got to go home and you on that damn smartphone and you got to face it too. We all know that these kids have access to social media, and they're I actually work with the Boys and Girls Club, and I mean elementary school kids got Snapchats and stuff. So they're on the phone and they're going to continue the taunting. They're going to continue, the making fun. And I mean, that is going to destroy or could destroy a young man. So I don't really see how she can keep her son away from that. Because he'll never be able to win. He'll never be able to win an argument. He'll never be able to win a Jonin session. He'll never be able to win freestyling at the lunch table. He'll never win. And I mean, if he's not gifted physically, like he just comes out and he's bigger than every other kid, he's gonna get that work.
I agree that bullying is way worse now than it was before. I mean, who didn't get bullied when they were younger in school? We all got bullied in school, whether it was in the school bus, in the at the lunchroom, wherever. Somebody got bullied when they were younger. The reason it is way worse now, it's because they have cyberbullying. So you're getting bullied in school and then also online. So that's why it is way worse, because of technology.
Right. And another point, a lot of people in the chat are saying, oh, well, they got money, they rich, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm here to tell you that a child has no real concept of money, right? A child comes out, and if they're broke and they're content. If they're rich and they're content, or in most cases, they take that for granted. So a child doesn't have a concept of money. So if they're rich, they're like, so I was born rich. Being rich means nothing to me because I was born rich and I never had to want for anything. That's where the whole silver spoon thing comes, because people who don't come from money, we look at people who have silver spoons in their mouth as weak. So that's even more ammunition, especially if he goes to a black school. That's even more ammunition for him to get made fun of, because now it's not only your mom's a whore, it's also, man, you ain't even come from the trenches. You ain't even from that. So why you talking all this, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you ain't, like, the bullying that men face is 10 times worse than a woman. And it's gonna be nonstop because of social media. So I mean, I really think that maybe she should homeschool him or something, because she's gonna have to mitigate,
Can you hear me?
Encountering people who know who she is, what she does, and what she has done in the past.
I feel like
have more
the
than
best option.
Hello.
She'll probably have more than enough money to
okay, so
homeschool
my
him.
question is, why do you care so much about her child, and why does her music make her a bad mother? Like, why are you so invested in the fact that her child is going to be bullied? I don't get it. Like,
you know why? Because
none of your business, honestly.
Oh, really? It's none of my business.
It's not. Like, that's her child. And however she wants to raise them.
Excuse me, ma'am. You asked me a question.
Like,
I think it's a teachable moment, and she's a public figure. So yes, I care because
it's
Jesus
not a teachable
loved all
moment.
the little children
And
of the
also,
world,
you're very
and I
off
do too.
topic.
And I want to.
You're being rude. You're being rude to the host.
And if your mom is involved in the things that she's involved in, he's not given a fair shake. So that's why I care, because I actually care about the mental health of children, even if they're not my own. So if you are apathetic to the mental health of black children, then hey, that's your mindset. But me, on the other hand, I actually give a damn about children and how they're being raised, in the households that they're being raised, and the examples that are set for them on how to be an adult. So if you don't care, then that's fine. But me over here, yes, I do care, because I want to see these children be given a fair shake. And I don't want them to be affected, by the things that their parents are doing. However, what their parents are doing is absolutely abysmal, and it is going to cause a negative effect on their mental health. So you asked me, why do I care? Well, I care about the mental health of young black men. So that's why I care.
I also want to interject.
Oh no, go ahead.
Great answer, host. You killed it. You did it. You did a great job answering her.
I just want to interject and say, I spoke about this earlier. One of the big issues, and I know people in the comments are talking about the black community, and that's a big issue in our community. And I spoke about that earlier. We are so we're individualist, and there's no sense of community, and there's lack of us holding each other accountable. I want to make this very clear. Nobody is ridiculing Sexy Red as a mother or a parent, nor Halle on whatever black celebrity decides to have a child out of wedlock. Do your thing. It doesn't matter. He's stating that this is a teachable moment, and it's important as a community, and he has that platform for us to have these conversations and have these discussions, because we see it play out in real life. Yeah, you may think that, oh, why does it matter? Who cares? But then when you turn around and you got little girls like the ones I used to work with, who are 13, 14, 15 years old, who are pregnant and forced to have kids, and their parents don't know what to do, and they're working full-time jobs, and it plays out. And again, kids know every single word, the Pound Town, but reading scores are low, and we are ranked like 27 something in the world as far as education. It does play out, because that child is going to be a member of society at one point in one day. And it's important as a black community, because we don't have our shit together, to have these conversations and really talk about what's going on. It doesn't even have to be Sexy Red and Halle. It could be somebody down the street. Again, it's important to have an understanding about where we're making these faults and have a discussion as a community, so we know how to push forward and move forward. So again, no, it's not nobody's business. I will give you that. Absolutely. It's not anybody's business, but it is important to discuss these topics because it affects all of us.
And I 1,000% on that, because talking about it here is doing something in your community. People thinking when they say, oh, community is not just your neighborhood. It's not just your church, your school. TikTok is also your community. This is our community. Talking about it is making a difference. So if you don't want to be part of the conversation, feel free to go somewhere else and find some other drama. We are trying to make a difference, because it's a conversation.
A question was really valid, to be honest. It was a valid question, and I really like you guys' answers, because I feel like a lot of people in the comments were like, why do you guys care? And I feel like people don't realize in the comments that it could be your kids being around those people later in life. You don't know who your children are going to fall on. So if you never care about what other people are doing, it might affect you. So I think that's why it's important to care about that now, and not necessarily wait until it affects you.
Absolutely.
You never know. You never know who your kid's gonna cross paths, and that could be your daughter, that could be your son. So it is our job, our responsibility to stand up for our community.
Right, and I see Artemis, you in the chat saying I didn't answer the question. I actually did answer the question, and then you're trying to bring up Cardi B as if I'm singling out Sexy Red. because she's a darker complexion, and it actually makes no sense.
And this has nothing to
And
do with
here's
that.
the thing:
Exactly.
Cardi B doesn't allow her children to listen to her music either. But you know, she's willing to allow your children to. So here's the thing: you know, if we don't care, like y'all keep saying, oh, y'all aren't protecting it. If black men just said, hey, we don't care, then you know, F it. You know, it is what it is. Then you're going to be complaining about us not protecting you and us not protecting the kids as well. So, I mean, we have to say something. We have to voice what our concerns are about the next generation and about the youth. And if we don't, then we're just going to be doomed to repeat the same cycle that has been perpetuated decade after decade.
We bring caring more. I feel like people think it's so cool to, oh, I don't care. But like, you will care eventually when it's gonna affect you.
Oh yeah, they will. Oh, absolutely.
It will.
They will. And you know what? I honestly feel that we're gonna start to see the effects like Gen Alpha and like below. We're really going to see that play out in society, and I really just don't think anybody is prepared, embraced for what that really looks like, because we have all of these teachers quitting and, you know, lack of resources being funneled back into after school programs and non-for-profits and things to fix things like this. And then you have Republicans trying to ban it. That's a whole different topic. But again, I think it's just so important for us to have these conversations and these understandings, because again, this is going to be our future. These are our future leaders. This is what that looks like. And again, I don't want, you know, my future, whatever job they end up getting, they don't know how to read it. They don't know how to account, etc. I'm getting my change and my money back. And you get what I'm saying? That happens.
Yeah. So Con Killion, you just joined the stream. Do you have any take on the topic?
Hey, it was good, y'all. Yeah, I kind of was just listening, and I wanted to kind of give a perspective from an artist standpoint who also works in the industry. I agree with a lot of stuff that's been said today. And now that we're kind of more so on the responsibility for artists when it comes to like their music, I think it's sometimes unfair, and this is not me being biased, but I think it's unfair that we kind of hold artists with this huge responsibility of, hey, we want you to be yourself. We're all about vulnerability. Be vulnerable, be yourself, put out your music, put out your art, tell your story. But when they do, whether we like it or not, we like to like dictate what they should put out because of the kids, because of the community, because of the representation. So then it's like, do we want artists to be artists and we take care of our own lives and just enjoy them for who they are and what they were created to do on this earth? Or do we want to dictate what artists can do, and will that still make them an artist if that's the case?
So I believe in freedom of speech. So I think an artist should be able to do whatever they want, but that doesn't mean that there aren't consequences. And I mean, as far as like other people's kids, Symphony, you got some shit going on today. But as far as other people's kids go, then, you know, you have to parent your own children. That's right. But what we were actually discussing was how is Sexy Red's child going to be affected by her actions? And I think that's a even more deep topic, because yes, other kids are being affected by her music. That's no doubt. And that's up to their parents to make sure that they aren't exposed to that at an early age, which is extremely difficult now. Just because of social media, the technology, and then also you have kindergarten teachers talking about if you in the class, you trying to say what's up, ski. Like they incorporating the music into the kindergarten curriculum, which I don't think is something that, you know, they should be doing anyway. So it's not, we're not really trying to muzzle artists. What we're doing is saying, okay, how is this going to affect their own children? And then you see the effect that it has on their own children. And then you can make the decision as to say, yo, you know, their kid came out fucked up. I don't want my kid to come out like that. So I'm not going to have my kid listen to them.
We want artists to be themselves. We want artists to be who they are, because that's how they express themselves in music. But also too, you have to realize every time you step out, whatever you do, you are an image. People are watching you. A lot of these young kids are watching these celebrities. They want to be like them because they are a role model. So we want them to be role model, but at the same time, you should be able to express yourself in music and how you dress, you know, how you feel. But you have to be mindful how you put yourself out there. That's how you want to get viewed.
Can I say something that piggybacks on that? I don't
go
mind
ahead.
any artists being themselves. I don't mind them being open or vulnerable. However, if you want to be vulgar with that, if you want to talk about sex, rape, drugs, all of that's not being yourself. That's being everybody else. You're not being inclusive. You're being like, it's not just you. You're talking about everything but yourself. You're talking about material things. Everyone wants material things. Okay, now tell me something else that I need to know, regardless of it. I don't want to talk about no sex, no drugs, none of that. My child shouldn't be hearing any of that. I have a baby that's coming on the way right now.
No, true. And I honestly, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with any of these points when it talks about the responsibility of artists having to be responsible with their art, no matter what it is. That goes to movies, because no one likes to strike against the movie industry when it comes to sex scenes and drugs and rape, crackheads, terrible parenting, hood shit, non-hood shit, satanic shit. No, we watch that shit, eat it up. And we're not talking about, our kids, the kids, make sure they don't watch it, because you do have access to press and play or not. Same thing when it comes to music. However, I do believe artists do need to be responsible, but their responsibilities have to be based off of what is true to them. And we don't know what's true to them because we only see them on the screen. Also, there's a responsibility from the audience, such as you all and listeners like myself. We have to make sure that if we don't fuck with something, and if we don't like it for whatever reason, let's not support it. When we hear that song playing, let's scroll past in the video and not give them a stream. Let's not download the song. Let's not watch the videos. Let's not share it. Let's not talk about it in a group chat. Let's not go on TikTok and make songs to it. But the problem is we say terrible, terrible, but then we make TikToks. We make hot topics. We go to the movies and watch these things, and we're supporting it by the dollar. So guess what the music industry does? And this is somebody who's been at these record executive meetings and stuff like that, and having people trying to tell me what they think I should or should not do based off of profit. Study shows that people listen to this longer than they listen to that. So guess what they do? They pour into what they see that people are naturally drawn to and spending money on. So that's really the issue. So then we got to talk about the community. What are we doing to help this be a thing that we're against? Are we helping? That's the question.
He just said that earlier. I don't know if you just walked in, you missed. He had a whole thing. He talked about that. Yeah. Someone had mentioned it earlier, and I think you missed that. Yeah. So if he wants to explain it again, he'll go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a good stopping point, because we're actually coming back full circle to the origin of the conversation. So I will give everybody a 30-second spiel to give their last thoughts. We'll start with TT2 Spicy. Just give your last thoughts. How do you think the conversation went? And,
I think it went okay. I was just going to say, I was actually reading the comments, and I kind of agree with some of the people in there saying that, like, most artists make music for, like, entertainment and for adult purposes, so they're not really probably thinking about how it's going to affect their kids in the long run. Mm-hmm. But overall, I do think some artists should, like, if you're going to have a kid, you definitely should watch how you're going to put yourself out there, because it's going to follow you forever at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Nice. Appreciate it. Appreciate you joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Have a good night. All right. We got Star next. Last thoughts, 30 seconds.
Okay, I think the conversation went great. I think it's the more we talk about it, it's very important, because even though we're not the one buying this music, we're not downloading it, but also we have children that are downloading these musics, that are listening to it. So there's a bigger picture than just us that we're talking about. That's the whole community. So I don't know why people only think that we are saying, oh, well, it doesn't affect you. This is not. But we are talking in general as a group for our community, what we want to see us in a better light. We already have enough stuff going on for us, how they see the Black community, but just having this thing like that, with these music that these celebrities are making, these kids are downloading, I don't think it puts us in a good light. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. And we got Khan Killion. Last thoughts?
Yeah, I know I came in super late, so I'm sorry if I repeat anything, but I really enjoyed this conversation. I love what you all are doing. I like the type of conversations we're having. My only thing that I will leave with everybody here is that if you have a problem with something, especially in entertainment, and especially when it comes to these celebrities that we admire or not, make sure you are louder for the ones you think represent you well and that you want to be more seen, and speak less or not at all, and show any sort of engagement on the things you think are hurting us. And that even if you have a hot topic about it, and this is not directly to you, I'm talking about the Sexy Red conversation, but if you feel like it is not good for the community, don't give it no attention. But if you want more of it, be loud and over the top, and I guarantee you will make a difference in our community.
Yeah, I definitely like your take on that, brother, and I appreciate you giving your take.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. But anyways, you already know what it is. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship quest to your email down below with a screenshot of your cash app so I know you pay on time, man. Y'all need to be on your mark for your day with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.